We all want to become the perfect parents, and for that, we keep trying the new techniques and new strategies. We keep thinking that what should we do that we become the perfect parents for our beautiful kids. There is nothing called as perfect parenting, it is only progressive parenting. We just keep improving ourselves as parents and do what is best for our kids. So, here today, I'm going to tell you in this session 8 positive parenting tips that is going to help you. The very first tip as to a parent I can give you is that please stop fighting or going into any kind of violence, arguing in front of the child. This is the worst thing that you can do to your child, fighting in front of them. Children are very sensitive to the energy, to the vibes around you and they around themselves, and they can actually catch these vibes. They can feel that negativity. So they have this something called as neuro mirroring. What is neuro mirror? That means that they see what their parents are doing and they learn the same thing. So you as parents, if you think that, my child is just 6 months old, he's just a baby, how does it matter if I'm, having an argument with my husband? Or if, they are just 1 or 2 years old, or they're playing in some other room, they're just watching TV, their attention is not there, they will not understand what is happening. And, without realizing, you start fighting with your partner sometimes. I mean, we all do get into fights. We all do. We are, in a marriage, the couples fight. It's a part of the married life. It is very, very normal. But at the same time, we have to be very mindful that if we want to fight, we do not fight in front of the kids, because kids are highly sensitive to these kind of negative energies and they usually absorb this negative vibe. Even if your child is 6 months or 1 or 2 year old, if they're watching TV or in some other room, do not think that they are not understanding or they are not able to hear you at all. They are hearing you. They are understanding that fight is going on. They can see that there is some kind of negativity, some kind of conflict having going on between my parents. So they grasp that. Children look at us. If you are fighting with your partner, if you're yelling at them, the child is looking at you. And we become as model. Parents are always the model for their child. The child, whatever they do, always remember one thing, that they are your mirror image. They are mirroring your behavior. So if you are yelling at your partner, or if you are fighting with your partner in front of them, for that particular behavior becomes a normal thing for them. For them, they understand that this is the way, this is a normal way to do, this is normal behavior that we can also do with other people. It is okay to shout, it is okay to yell at them, it is okay to fight. So they start doing the same thing with their friends or people around them. I was in one of the schools where I was dealing with small children, and some of these children were very aggressive, or some of them would say such statements or say such words which cannot be expected out of such small kids. So all you can understand that is that they are using those words which they hear at home. So whatever they are hearing you saying, the way you speak, the way you behave, the way you sit, everything is being noticed by your child, no matter how small they are. They are noticing your behavior and they are likely to mirror that. They are likely to behave or speak in the same manner as you do. Even your dress up, even the way you deal with other people, they are likely to do the same thing. So be very, very mindful that how you are behaving at your home, your child is going to behave in the very same manner outside in the world. Even your 6-month baby who is sleeping on the bed, you think that they are not understanding everything. Every small action that you take, the way your body moves, they are understanding every single thing that you do. When the mother comes from outside to home at home, and the way she steps in or the way she enters the room, the child can even sense her action and understand that is she angry, is she tired, is she frustrated, or how is she feeling. The child catches that energy that mother is releasing out of her body. So even this is how sensitive a child can be. Now the second tip, very most important, is to build the trust and connection with your child. 80% of the time we are just correcting our child. We are not connecting with them, we are correcting them most of the time. Don't do this, like don't do like that, don't say this. Speak properly in front of others, speak properly in front of the guest. How you're sitting, can you please take care of the skirt that you're wearing? You're not sitting properly. Why your hair is like that, all messy? Go and wash your face. Why your face is like that? All the time we are just correcting their behavior. We want a tailor-made child, the child who is perfect, disciplined, well-behaved, good child. We just don't tolerate their emotions, their natural behavior. If they're playing at home, if they're playing with ball at home, it's not that you should not correct them. We should correct them. If we think that they are making mistakes or something, we should correct them. But most of the times we are correcting them. We are not connecting them with them. So it is very, very important to connect with them most of the times than to correct them. How do we connect with the child? Connecting is just spending time with them, quality time with them. Spend time with them, talk to them, talk about, ask their how was their day, what did they do in school, which all friends are their favorite, which are the ones they don't like the most, what all games do they play, things like that. And tell your things as well. Tell about your childhood. When I used to be small, I used to do like this, I used to do like that, even I used to cheat sometimes, or I used to not listen to my mom. So all your naughty behavior, even so that it feels that it is a normal childhood that even you had. Of course, even you were never 100% disciplined, obedient, and 100% well in good in academic, sports, and everything at all. So even we were kind of an imperfect. We all are imperfect. So is our child. If we are imperfect, why do we want our child to be corrected all the time? This leads to a lot of frustration, and they feel like that they are being commanded over. There is no connection. So to build up that connection, it is very, very important that we sit with our child, chit chat with them, play games with them, talk to them, talk about emotions, listen to their questions. I'm sure when you start talking to them, when they open up, they have so many emotional questions to ask you. They are so curious, full of curiosity, that they might ask you n number of questions. Try to answer as many as them. So that is a connection that you need to build up, rather than most of the time just correcting them all the time. Trust building is very, very important. Now when you say that you want your child to feel safe with you, they need to trust you. Only then the child is going to come to you and tell you everything. Now sometimes what happens when the child comes in and tells you, mama, you know what, I hit the other kid at school, or I did so and so thing, or I broke this thing, or some mischievous or something that is not a good behavior. They come and tell you. Please do not scold them or say very bad. What you did was very, very bad. So the moment we say this, they do not feel safe around us. Instead, we can always ask them, why did you do that? What made you do that? Is there anything that is bothering you? So we need to build that environment where a child feels safe with us. He trusts us and he shares everything with us. Only when the child trusts you, he feels safe with you, he's going to come and tell you everything. The biggest problem what parents feel is that my child has started lying. They hide things from me, especially when they grow up. They start hiding things, they start telling lies, they're not sharing enough things with you. The only reason is because they don't trust you, or because they feel unsafe around you. They feel that if my mother gets to know, if my father gets to know, they're going to scold me, they're going to yell at me, they're going to be upset about it. So that kind of feeling should not be there in the child. The child should feel safe that if I go and tell my mother, she is going to guide me, not scold me, but guide me that what is the right thing to do. She is going to listen to me, she is going to understand what I'm going to say. So when they know that you are going to understand them, you are going to guide them instead of scolding, they are definitely going to come to you. They will definitely take your guidance. They will not lie to you. They will not hide things from you. And when they do not hide, they do not lie, and they come and tell you everything, that is the best time when you can guide them right, and they will never get distracted from the right path. Anything, any lie, hiding, not sharing, all these things only comes out of fear. Either it is child or it is an adult. Even if you are an adult, you will not share things with your partner if you're scared of them. You will not tell the people whom you are scared of. If you have fear inside that this person is going to judge me, this person is going to laugh at me, or this person is going to say so and so thing, so you are not going to tell them, or either you are going to manipulate or lie to them. So we only tell the truth to a person openly when we feel safe around them. So that is the same thing that we need to do with our kids. Trust is very important. Live by your words. Your child with, there are very small things that are there. Like you say, I'll be back in an hour. Then after that, you come after 4 hours. Or you say that, okay, fine, if you study hard, I'll get you a car, or I'll take you to the park. And when the evening comes, you don't take them to the park. You say, I'm very busy. Today is my meeting. I can't take you to the park. Maybe next time. Okay, go play yourself. So what has happened over a period of time? These are very, very small things, small incidents that are there. So whatever you're speaking, whatever you're saying, they trust you completely, because to them, you are their God. You are everything to them. So they trust their God. For them, it is the final statement. And when you do not go by your words, whatever you made the promises, you kind of break the promises. That is the time when the child stops trusting you, and the trust factor is broken. So this should not happen. Trust building is very, very important between the child and the parent. Third, very most important thing is, child cannot learn in stress. Do not stress out the child. What usually happens is there is a hormone called as cortisol. So when the child is under stress, they come in the fight or flight mode, and this cortisol is secreted in their body. When the stress hormone cortisol is secreted in their body, the child is not able to learn, is not able to form a new memory. What happens is, when the child is not able to do anything, we start hitting the child. We start, scolding the child. Why can't you understand this? Why you're not studying? I always tell you to study. Why you not this? Focus, pay attention on the notebook, see what I'm writing, and then you do. Now you are yelling at the child. You're scolding the child that he is not studying, he's not paying attention. You have built such stress in the child to learn something, and when the child is under stress, they are definitely not able to focus anymore. Even if they were able to focus beforehand, now they're not at all able to focus. They're not able to pay the attention at all. The only reason is now they are too much under the stress. So the first thing is that we want our child to learn, we want our child to study, but to make them study, to make them learn something, we start giving them stress by scolding, by losing patience. So when we are losing patience and we are, being angry with them, it is building in the stress in them. And when the stress is being built, obviously they are not able to learn. When the child is not studying, we scold them, we threaten them that if you will not study, I'll put you in hostel. If you will not study, I'll do this to you. I will take away your playtime. We start yelling. So we put so much stress on the child. Now further, the child is whatever, the capacity of the child was to do the learning, even that is now not there. So the learning altogether just goes away, and we also become so stressful in that situation that my child is not learning, they are not able to study, they are not studying at all, they are not paying attention, or they are not focusing. So this is a vicious cycle that goes on and on, so that we need to avoid. Please do not put a child under so much stress where they're not able to cope up, where their learning and their memory formation suffers. There are so many parents who take away their kids' play time, their outdoor time, their hobby time, all those kind of sports activity, non-academic things during their 10th boards and 12th boards. Now that is the worst thing to do. Of course, we know that there is so much of pressure already in grade 10th and 12th. The child is de-stressing themselves while they do their hobbies, while they go out to play, while they are socializing or talking to their friends or doing any kind of non-academic activity. Obviously, a productive activity we want, and not just sitting in front of gadgets or TV I'm asking you to do. So this is very important. But what we are doing, already the child is under so much stress with the, with the 10th and the 12th board exams. Now on top of that, you take away their co-curricular activities as well, and you do not let them de-stress. When you do not let them de-stress, the stress level keeps building up, and when the stress level keeps building up, they're further not able to learn as effectively as they would have been. So please, if you want your children to do well, let them de-stress during the time of stressful activities. In stress, as a stress response, they're further not able to learn effectively, and that is going to affect their study or performing in the studies altogether. So it is very, very important to relax them during the chronic stress stage, because it really affects the memory and learning center of the brain. So if that is affected, definitely they are going to perform very bad in their exams and overall. Both is that when a child is throwing tantrums, they start throwing that they are lying on the floor and they are throwing tantrums of something. I want this, I want it right now, or I want to go out and play, I want to watch TV, or whatever it is, and they are continuously throwing tantrums, and they are saying that they want something. That time the child is not thinking. They are actually using the lower part of their brain. They are using the impulsive part of their brain. And in that situation, if you as a parent also start throwing tantrums, scolding them, behaving in the same manner, yelling at them, scolding them for what they are doing, you are also thinking from your lower brain, and you're not thinking rationally. So you as a parent, you don't have to react in the same way that the child is reacting. Now child has started behaving by throwing tantrums, unnecessarily crying, whining over something, continuously saying something that, that shouldn't be happening. So they are not thinking rationally, they're not understanding, they're just crying and, throwing tantrums for some reason. That time their lower brain is active. You as a parent, if you will also start yelling at them and use your lower brain, there is no point at all. There is just going to be war, and this is just going to be chaos. Nothing is going to get solved. You as a parent, you are a mature person, you need to think from your upper brain. Upper brain means that you have to be calm, you have to be relaxed, you have to think rationally. Why the child is doing that? What do they want? Why are they throwing this tantrum? What is the reason? You need to talk to them about it. So the best way is that either do not react initially. I'm not telling you to give them a silent treatment. Silent treatment is a very, very bad thing to give to a child. Don't give them a silent treatment. But don't react, and especially not in a negative manner at all. For some time, don't react. Let them vent out their emotions completely. Once they are done with that, then you need to, instead of reacting, speak to them. That what is it? Try to understand that what the child is saying and why they are saying, why they're thinking that way, or what is it that they want. So now what we have to do, we have started using our upper brain. Same thing, we have to do that with the child now. We have to make their upper brain work rather than their lower brain working. So how do we engage them? How do we actually make them use their upper brain? Start asking them questions. What happened? What is it that is bothering you? Did you have a fight with your friend? Why did you have a fight? What did he say or she say? How they must be feeling? What do you think would have happened? Can we rectify this problem? So when you engage them in these kind of questions, they stop throwing tantrums for a while. Now they are engaged and they start using their upper brain, just like you. They start thinking rationally rather than throwing any irrational or illogical demands. Fifth is modeling. Now what is modeling? Like I've told you before as well, that your child is continuously observing you. So what happens is we tell on the phone to our friend, no yaar, you start lying that I'm not feeling well, I'll not come today. So what you have done, you have lied, and then you tell your child, no, don't lie. You should never lie. Lying is a bad thing. Or you feel angry and you start yelling and screaming in house. You start scolding them, or you start banging things or throwing things in anger. But you tell your child, please beta, behave properly, behave nicely. You should not do all this. When you're angry, deep breathe. Deep breathe and then, release, vent out the anger. So child is never ever going to listen to what you say. They're always going to do what they see you doing. If you are feeling angry, and if you calm yourself down, you take deep breaths, you go in the other room, you just sit quiet for 2 minutes, and you deal with your anger in that manner, Your child is watching you. They know, they understand that, okay, this is one of the way that I can deal with anger. So I can also do the same thing. So when you are, being truthful to other people, the way you are sitting, the way you are behaving, everything, you are a model for your child, and your child always imitates you. They are going to learn not by what you say, they are going to learn by what you do. So doing is important. If you change your own behavior, your child is going to do the same. So if you want your child to be a very disciplined one, you have to become disciplined first. If you want your child to become hardworking, if you want your child to become disciplined, if you want your child to become, that very prim-prom, good manners, and not lying and being very truthful and all these things, if you want in your child, you just have to do it yourself. You don't have to tell the child what to do, what not to do. You have to imply onto yourself. You start doing it. You start sleeping on time. You start getting up early in the morning. You do the hard work. You become determined in your life. You keep the good positive attitude. Nothing you have to tell the child. The child is only going to mirror your behavior. Whatever you're doing, they are going to watch you, and they're going to do the same. It's useless to tell them what not to do, what to do. I'm not saying that you stop scolding them or you stop telling them altogether. We all tell our children, it's a basic and very normal usual practice that we have to tell child something. We have to talk them through that, these are the wrong things, these are the right things. But what I mean to say is, beyond this, you cannot be that your behavior is altogether something else and you're saying something else to your child. That inconsistency cannot be there. You have to be consistent. If you are saying something to your child that you should manage your anger like this, you also need to behave in the very consistent manner. If you tell your child hard work is good, you also need to do the hard work. You can't sit on the couch on the mobile all the time and tell your child, don't see the mobile, it's bad for your eyes and for your brain, don't do that, go outside and play. They will not do. They will do what you are doing. So whatever you say, you have to do the same thing. So there has to be a consistency between what you say and what you do. The child will then definitely follow what you say and what you do. So consistency is very, very important. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're saying, the same should be done by you. And please never inculcate fear and guilt in the child, as in, don't make them do things out of fear and guilt. Like, don't threaten them saying that if you will do this, I will do this. If you will not eat your food, if you will not do your homework, I will cancel your birthday party altogether. So don't do these kind of, don't threaten your child in that manner. And also don't use guilt or fear for that manner. For example, don't say to your child, if you will not eat, mama will feel very, very sad and she's going to cry. So don't use these guilt trips to don't make them feel guilty, or don't use this guilt kind of techniques onto your child. For example, many parents I've heard saying that if you will not eat your food, your papa is going to scold me, or if you will not bring good marks, the neighbor is going to pass remarks on your mother, or if you not do behave well, then your grandparents are going to scold your mother. Do you want this to happen to your mother? So you are making them feel responsible for this. You are making them feel guilty about it. Please don't do that. So this guilt tripping is not going to help. Please don't use techniques and methods to discipline your child out of fear and guilt. These are not very effective, and it truly is not helpful at all in a long term. Another thing is that many mothers I have seen, many educated mothers who have their own careers, who have done PhDs, masters, or they're engineers or doctors or whatsoever they are. So they have their own careers. They just leave their careers and make their child their project, their career. Now I am a full-time mother. I just want to see, if you are by choice, don't want to work, and you would just want to be a housewife, that is absolutely fine. There is no problem in that at all. But if you are sacrificing your career just to make your child as your career or as your project, please don't do that. It is a dishonor to your own self and to your degrees that you have done, all the hard work that you have done. So many mothers I have seen, what they do, I have left everything. I just want to focus on my child, and I want to bring up that child. I want its development to be done in a perfect way. So what happens is, it's child is just like a flower. It's a flower that is yet to bloom. So if you keep standing and looking at the flower, that okay, one petal will bloom, then the other, and then the third, the flower is going to die. They have their own lives, they have their own journey, their own path, their own career to make. They will do it. They need your support constantly. Please do support them constantly. But do not sacrifice your own life, your career, everything. Do not make your child as your project, that I want to work on this project solely and do nothing else at all in my life. Because what happens is, when you make your child your project, you start having too much expectations. And when you are building up these expectations, because you have left your career, you have sacrificed your life, you have sacrificed your parties, you are going out, your career, everything you have sacrificed. Why? Because you want to focus on the child. And it is but natural that when you are focusing your child on that ways, your expectations goes very, very high. You start expecting that my child will be, prime minister one day, or they will become, they will work in NASA or ISR or something. You start expecting they have to come first in class, because I have sacrificed everything. I'm not doing job for what? For you, so that you can build your career, you can make your career. So what happens, that expectations that you are building, that is giving too much of stress onto the child. And when that expectation is not met, you are under stress and your child is even more under stress. So child starts complaining that they have got anxiety. Why they've got anxiety? Because till the time my mother was, working, they were, she was teaching me, I was coming first in the class. Now she is not teaching, now I'm becoming third in the class. She is under depression. She is feeling very sad. She is very upset because I'm not meeting her expectation. So the child, takes in the responsibility, because that my mother is upset, my mother is sad, because I am not up to her expectations. I'm not able to make them happy. So this brings in loads and loads of stress onto the child, because you're unnecessarily building up those expectations. And why you bought those expectations? Because you think that you have sacrificed everything for them, and now this project has to be a success. So this stress buildings, these expectations, this guilt tripping, this shame, body shaming them, or making them, too strict policies or strategies to discipline them. All these things don't work. The best way to connect with a child is definitely to connect with them deeply, to talk to them, and to improve your own self, so that they can see you and improve themselves, and they start improving all by themselves. So that is all for today. This was a session specially for the mothers and for the parents as well, of course, for the fathers and mothers both. I hope that you enjoyed my session, and for anything at all, for any more parenting tips or anything that you would like to share, please write in the comments below and I will get back to you.